सातारे भायारी एक बेलर की सातारे भायारी एक बेलर की अड़गी क्यों परनाई रही अम्मा।
All right, so we're on the third part of the spiritual strength topic, and I could really just keep going and going on this. Spiritual strength is really a lifestyle. It's a constant faith, and trust in yourself. It's constantly, taking the responsibility for your own enlightenment and your own healing. Again, that authority shouldn't be placed in the hands of anyone. And you can say, well, what about the guru, right? What about the enlightened master, the enlightened being? He's just supposed to give one touch and the whole thing happens. And that's definitely a possibility, sir. Certainly, enlightened masters can do that, but that's not exactly how it works. Because the enlightened beings are basically surrendered to this cosmic consciousness, this cosmic flow of nature. And the energy that they are radiating is not necessarily theirs, it's a part of this cosmic intelligence. And when they are, looking at a crowd of people, for example, and they looking down and seeing these people, what are they going to respond to? Right? Because it's a response interaction. It's you go to the master or the guru and you want enlightenment, or you want a car, or you want a child or something, whatever it is that you think you're wanting. So, when you go to enlightened master, he can see all that. He can see what everybody wants, and if you just kind of have this kind of weak or limited or temporary notion about enlightenment, oh yeah, well, enlightenment is just kind of the power of now and in the moment, and just being a little bit relaxed and having a good life, man. Then he'll give you that, right? He'll give you that experience. But if you say, no, this, I want to be, evacuate this Maya, this illusion. And I'll see, holy cow, at that point, the enlightened being or master will have no choice but to respond accordingly. And he'll enjoy, like, God, this guy really wants it. And like I said, so when you're following that kind of your inner authority and your inner faith and inner trust, even if you have no intention on seeing a guru or a master, but you're just completely, working intensely towards that ultimate goal, then the guru will come to you. He'll come to you and say, look, come on, let's finish this job. Let's finish this off. So that's why the spiritual strength is so powerful. Is that doesn't mean that you are independent of any outside source or grace, but it means that you're ready to receive. And once you receive that, you have the platform to actually give, and not just ask. Because what happens is when you ask or have this desire, focused on the ultimate, focus complete, not saying, look, I'm gonna make $3 million and then I'm gonna get enlightened, or look, I'm gonna go travel somewhere, then I'm gonna get enlightened, or or all this. No, you're going to say, now, this has to happen now. Constantly, churning with this notion that this liberation is life or death. So my God, that's extreme. How we can just kind of smooth our way into it. You can try. But when you're living with that intensity, then again, the guru just happens in your life. And when you focus on only the idea of liberation, only the highest spiritual capacity or experience, that's all you want. You don't want anything else. Then what happens is you get it, right? You get all of it. You get fulfilled just infinitely, right? Infinite amount of bliss just becomes a part of your everyday experience. Even in your cells and your muscles. You're like, yeah, this is tremendous, this is too much, and you almost, for a while you just, you don't do anything, you're just content. And you don't need, it's beyond the full responsibility. The enlightened state hasn't, settled. So then you're just, you can just be on a couch for weeks at a time in unimaginable samadhi bliss without any kind of care. But what happens is, naturally, it's like a natural response when you get fulfilled to such a certain degree. So maybe you're wondering, well, what am I going to do with all this fulfillment? What am I going to do with it? But what happens is that fulfillment just you naturally start sharing, in whatever, capacity that you have. Even if it's just, taking spiritual truths and copying them and pasting them online, or translating a book, or whatever it is that you feel connects you with, or whatever it is that you feel is connected to that incredible grace that you received. But again, if you're continuing, or have this kind of background of spiritual strength, then that sharing, will be able to go beyond any kind of limited notion of what other people think is possible. Because you'll be, you won't be afraid of saying, oh, what will they think if I start expressing like this? The other people, because that's a part of the thing, is becoming released from this mind. It's not just your own projections. You have to deal with the projections of the world, and everybody's, what is this guy? And, what is, enlightenment's not real, or that, that guru you're seeing, he's just some crazy guy, wanting your money and all this BS feeding to you. You have to plow through all of that. And ultimately, for the full kind of self-realization, you have to plow through the ignorance of gods. Because the gods will come down to you and say, wow, hey, you're in bliss, great. And hey, wouldn't you want to be like a god and live like us for thousands of years? That's why Patanjali says in the Yoga Sutras, when the gods come in your meditation, don't get distracted. So you have to even, cut through the delusion of these gods that are unimaginable beings. But it's a very subtle form of delusion that keeps them in this cycle of kind of existence or rebirth. Even if it is for, 10,000 yugas lifetime. You have to be willing to go through all of that. And that's not just some kind of power of now is not gonna provide the strength for you to go through all that. I mean, if you think it is, I don't have a problem. I mean, again, it's tremendous. It's very helpful, but and that's why we should revive like all these different aspects of spirituality, from the grossest, so-called grossest, devotion to idols, right? Or a ridiculous misunderstanding. But a devotion to these supreme cosmic energy and temples and deities and paintings, right? All this. And all kinds of yoga and techniques and meditation and kriyas. Just bring it on. Right? The more the better. Again, it doesn't mean that you should have too many, overwhelm yourself with so many techniques, but the spiritual strength is recognizing, what it's having on a very practical level, rather than being caught in some kind of, non-dual, notion that's kind of glossed over, and you're just, circling or, making circles in your head. Spiritual strength is recognizing what's actually giving you the full juice of the enlightenment experience, and continuing to immerse yourself in that kind of state of bliss. So yeah, spiritual strength is enough. And in Ben's view, is essential if you really want to realize, the Supreme Self.